After our extended hiatus, it was like, let's come back from our hiatus and then almost immediately run into certain death. it was, it
Yep.
was a
Yes.
cracker of a session.
Seems logical.
Where we ended up
It's
with
very on brand.
Yep, for you guys, yes. So you had Victor who could only breathe water. When you kicked off, you were trying to figure out MacGyvering a mobile aquarium that you eventually abandoned instead of doing some trash work or polymorphing into a goldfish. And
Just went with the Bane water
I
mask.
wish you had tried that. Hey, I was so excited about the goldfish into a trash goldfish bowl. Oh, the possibilities. But yeah, then thanks to Zachary, he just started breathing out of his waterskin, and so little asthmatic scuba diver orc running around with you guys at the moment, solving that problem. And then there was a forest fire, which you, or Jake more specifically, started, is rapidly approaching behind you. As you finished your fight, but did you run? Did you scout things out? No, you sent the Drake off on a solo stealth operation. Responsible adventuring 101, outsource your danger to your pet.
Scouting stuff out, yeah.
Look, if it all goes bad, we just respawn.
Exactly. I love that. I don't know whether it's Race or
Uh,
Ali or a combination of both. Never really consider that it can just be re-summoned. It's like, don't fuck with my Drake. I love it. I love it so much. So off he
Yeah.
went. His
we
stealth was
lost
on
that
point.
rogue. Yeah, who else is going to be a trap monkey?
True.
Exactly.
I vote Zachary. Stealth was on point. Perception was not so much. Yeah, there was a faint distance. Ali, I'll let you guys know. As you kind of were working your way up there with an indication from Alia's hypersensitive nose that there were things on the other side of a massive big shrubbery. Zach decided to just yeet fire into the bushes and hope for the best. There was no investigation. There was no conversation. And that firebolt somehow hit something. But it seems like you weren't the only one who had that idea, and a fireball returned and blew a whole lot of shit up, including Fokionis, who, when he got back up, started collecting arms and body parts. So then, as you were kicking that off, there was an enemy mage who was trying to drag and move some sort of mysterious bound up figure. Alia nearly took the mage down, but then there was in Alia's words, a freaking shield that sprung up. Zach froze the mage, but then someone hit him, or hit them. They're all robed up, so we don't have a gender on that mage yet. The mage Misty stepped the hell out. You guys elected not to follow. So where we left off after all of that, on the back of one big fight into this other encounter without stopping to draw breath, Zachary partially unwrapped the mysterious figure that was worm crawling along the ground until it ran into him, who had quite a mouth on them. And one of the last things that was said from that figure as they sat up was, "Are you drunk?" And from here, I think the next bit that we need to do, the figure, Kayla, your character, already got a description of Zach, this strange, formally dressed, magician-looking character, complete with top hat and white, well, at one point, white gloves, full dress. You saw all of this and commented on it last time round, but I think at this point, it's best that we actually let you introduce yourself and your character and let these guys know what and who they're seeing. At this point, they can only see you from the shoulders up, but I think in the interests of not doing this twice, if you give your overall description of what they will see, I'm going to make a big assumption that they will hopefully unwrap you at some point, or you can get your own way out with your shoulders freed. So if you can just give us an idea of your whole character, just to save doing this twice, and when an actual name is exchanged, I'll start putting your nameplates and stuff up on the overlay. So what do they see first off?
Okay, so I missed everything until you just said unwrap me. Because it dropped out. So
Oh, no.
I think I'm back. I'm good. So
Your video's not glitching anymore, so
Kitty?
that's a good sign.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad we're all back in the party. So yeah, you'll see Kitty. Kitty is disheveled. She has bright, almost like electric orange, frizzy afro hair that is currently sticking in every direction it shouldn't be. Yep. Which she's incredibly unhappy about. And I think you need to be aware of that moving forward. She very much looks like the kind of person that you would see before the fall happened. She's like a normal, everyday person that you would see walking down the street, with the exception of bright amber glowing eyes, a greeny gold, like luminescent glow almost, and two tiny little horns sticking out of her hair, which she's very self-conscious about. So she does tend to front load the hair to cover as much as she can. She is not very tall at all. Sorry, 1 second.
That's short.
5'5", I believe, if you're looking up your.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Everything on my planning went out the window when everything turned off. Yes. She is 5'5" and not particularly aggressive looking. She's very unassuming, but very mad. Yep.
I will just let you guys know as we unfold this that Kayla's been kind enough to let us know her character's name, but you don't have a name for your below the table stuff with your characters, your in-game stuff, because all you have is this figure in the
Apologies.
description. No, don't. I wanted to move this along so I could actually get your overlays and titles and stuff up. But these guys at this point, you don't know the name of this character and you don't know any of the class or etc. I'm sure it'll all be unpicked. Just so that we can get who's who in the zoo as you're looking around there. Kitty, there are a few other figures clustered nearby as well, so it's not just the top hat wearing character who who came over to you. There is also I'm going to wait and do Alia last, but there's also a half naked half orc there. What does this character see as they get their first look at Phocionis in this post firestorm aftermath, Dante?
Say that again, please.
What does this figure who's just been partially unwrapped and is sitting up giving egg lip as she's looking around and taking all of you guys in?
Right.
How would you describe Phocionis? And
Phocionis currently is he's some shit's gone down. Fair to say. So there's a rather large greenish half orc brandishing a couple of severed limbs as, I don't know, some sort of poorly fashioned club, because why not? Just there's shit and soot and stuff from the fire and stuff from the fish guy back there and stuff from old mate who's yeeting fire bombs at us and a bit of dirt from the ground and just a bit of blood and somewhat just from coming out of battle, but just slowly calming down, trying to figure out what the fuck is just going on. And what the fuck is in this bag and why is it moving and now it's talking at us and what's going on?
And that figure is a little ways back, sort of behind the wizard guy. The other one that you can see is a larger version of what you just had described to you, in more of like a leather armor, a bigger greenish orc who is currently asthmatically inhaling out of a waterskin, with a really messed up, what looked like former kind of semi Chuck Liddell mohawk going on, but it's certainly not in that state anymore. And he's not looking too good, and his greenish skin is still kind of like semi-translucent. He looks a bit under the weather, and kind of huffs and puffs as he'd come over to assist with Zach getting the covers stuff off you. And then the final thing you see as you're looking around, can you let this new person partially tied up on the ground, what do they see with Alia, who is currently recovered and I think just pumped some health into your Drake, I believe, happened right near the end. So they're back on 1 HP, not dead anymore.
Aaliyah's Aaliyah.
So shoving trash into her bag.
She is a certified trash fucking panda that has an affection for animals. And her protector / best friend, Fox. She looks, I don't know.
Okionis is on the other end of the clearing at the moment. So this is a bit of backstory, but at the moment you're just getting that description. And so for Kitty, you're literally looking at a personified walking raccoon who's got
with a Drake in
armor
her
and a
hands.
bow, and is currently like cradling this white dragony looking ferret thing. It's quite an interesting combination. And for you, in any of your experiences to date to get this far, this is the first time you have seen a walking, talking raccoon, every bit like the Rocket Raccoon, but in a fantasy setting and minus all the cybernetic enhancements, with, you know, bows and arrows and bristling with weapons and an ill temper. That's what you are faced with. And the last thing you'd asked was, after chewing Zachary out for why the fuck he looked the way he did and asking him if he was drunk, this is where we find ourselves. So what next, people? You know what each other looks like.
Yeah, you look like you've had the rough time of it. I think should let you cool off for a bit.
Being untied would be lovely, but sure.
Yeah. I'll untie her. I'll take her. Try and untie the ropes, I guess.
I'll give you, with even one-handed assistance there from Victor, you're not the smoothest at this, but those bindings have certainly, with the vigorous worming and kicking and also partially getting it over like the shoulder tip, it doesn't take you much, even with your bumbling limited strength and dexterity to get them off.
Yeah, there we go.
So you're now, you get the full view of this character.
Yep. So
Hello.
Hello.
I'm
You're there.
Zach. You're not like just hostile. That's weird.
well, I'm not tied up anymore, and I'm no longer on the ground, so that does seem quite fair. Also, I don't think there's anything else that's on fire. Well, maybe not currently present.
right.
Maybe over there, but not right here.
All right.
It helps.
There has certainly started to smolder out, yes. And if you didn't catch it with the choppy internet, Zach also gave you his name. The magician guy did give you his name.
I'm Zach. Yeah, Zachary.
Are you a magician?
Fire breather.
Yes, I can do magic tricks.
Fantastic.
Sorry, can you see what he's doing on camera? I'm going to make the assumption that Zachary, in this world of fantasy and high magic, has literally attempted to do his thumb moving.
Signature move.
She's taking notes.
Anywhere. Do that again.
So as you know that you see this book just come into his hands, and it's this leather-bound tome, and Alia, you, especially the angle you're on, and with your passive perception, you pick up that it's a really high quality book, and stamped on the cover of it is like this embossed, very clearly kind of cute owl face, complete with glasses, almost like if the Harry Potter logo was an owl in chibi form, but it didn't have a lightning bolt carved across its forehead.
Big.
It's a very fancy book that she's scribbling notes into.
It's a nice book.
So at the moment, all we know of this figure is they're scribbling in a book, and you've now met Zachary. Victor, into his voice, you managed to hear this wafted huffing and make out that his name is Victor. That's it. Eventually, you get that.
Victor, what are you? Fishman is sick.
That's temporary, I think.
So are you going to facilitate any other introductions while you're there, Zach, or is anyone else going to...
Zach, introduce me.
Yes, this is Fokionis, and
How you doing?
The voice is back. Yes, he looked it up.
Yes. Are you on his shoulder there?
Yeah, where else?
Oh, why not? Somewhere in amongst this, Alia has climbed up on her favorite perch on Fokionis' shoulder, and the drake scurrying around his feet. Why not?
You just see me like offering Alia like a severed arm, see if she wants it for trash. Put it in the bag of trash.
Leia just casually puts it in her bag.
There we go.
I don't completely understand what I'm looking at, but I'm willing to get involved. Yep.
Is are you mentioning? Is anyone mentioning Alia's name at this point? And is anyone going to potentially ask, or will it be offered what this other person's name is? Just to complete introductions.
How about me go? I'll say me, Alia, you, and point.
Nice. That'll work. Surely.
Kitty.
No, she's a raccoon.
Oh,
The magician has spoke.
Oh, the call of the nights happened in the first 15 minutes. That's
Kitty
great.
did write that down, by the way.
Oh,
So, thank you very much for untying me. It is greatly appreciated. Now, I think I might be on my way. If there's nothing else you need, thank you very much. I have nothing to give you, but a handshake, firm handshake all around.
That's all right. Who are those guys that were dragging you around?
Fantastic question. Honestly, I couldn't really write in my book because my hands were tied up and I couldn't see. I didn't catch very much. I know they're not very bright. And what are you guys doing here? How do I know that you weren't one of them? I mean, except for the part that they're all dead and you're not dead and I'm not dead. But anyway.
yeah, Zach, how do we know we wasn't one of them? Fox says, nodding in agreement.
Zach, I'll give you with your intelligence that you notice. Actually, you and Kitty both notice something about your respective yourself, and then as an individual, and then the group that's kind of coming over for a chat. That Kitty, you see that clearly visible player name, the thing that's this strange feature that has become really commonplace and almost just part of the background of seeing names and tags. And you can see that all of these guys have the same CHAOS with a period in between each of the letters. it all caps underneath each of their names now they've introduced themselves to you. And Zach, you notice in amongst everything else that's happening, including limbs, charred limbs being shoved into spatial storage, that Kitty's name and her name tag are both identical. Whereas you guys have a group of you with the same name. Hers is just her name and then her name. I'll give you guys you can do with that what you will.
I don't reckon Fock or Alia would like notice that at all.
No, it's only Zach who's picked up on that.
So like we're part of a team chaos trying to get through this dungeon, survive. Are you part of like a group as well? Can we help you get back to them or?
No, I'm not a part of a group, but thank you for asking. I am delightfully on my own. Delightfully. And upright now, so my day's improving, really.
Good to hear. Glad we could help.
Yeah.
Do you want to like stick with us for safety then, or
Depends. Which direction are you going?
Away from the fire.
That seems like a good idea. I also feel like you may be fiery at the same time. Not sure. Not sure yet. Not
sure?
100%. My main goal is to get in and out of this place as fast as possible.
Get in and out.
In and out.
All
I
right.
was just going to say we can help with that.
The raccoon can help.
She knows all about the in and out.
You know what? I trust the raccoon. This makes sense.
Aaliyah is going to pull the arm out of her bag and smack Zach in the head with it.
Ah!
High five.
Aaliyah high fives.
High five.
So, whilst you may not have noticed the actually, Ali, can you give me a perception roll, just a straight perception roll for me? No advantage on this one.
Okay.
While all this conversation's happening, like picking up on writing, not necessarily your strong suit, but you do generally pay a little bit more attention to your surroundings than the others, having grown up in the wild suburbs and been raiding. I don't care if you do it on dice or do digital rolls, just give me a perception number. Did you catch that, Racer? That's you.
Didn't I do that already?
Can you give me the number? I don't necessarily have where you... Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you say it. 16, excellent. So with a 16, as all of these talking and reading and writing and stuff's going on, from your perch up on Fokionis's shoulder, you actually see a couple of things. You can definitely see that fire, that smoke that was coming behind you from Jake's errant fire sword is definitely looking a lot bigger and a lot closer than it was last time you checked. There's been a lot of distractions since then, and an indeterminate amount of time has passed that you're not sure of, but it's getting a lot closer. And what you also notice is you're looking around and you see that while the rest of this chit chat's happening, and aside from the high fives and body parts that you're sharing around, you notice that up, like above you, there's what initially looks like kind of a flock of birds, but then with a 16, you realize that no, it's not a flock of birds that are relatively close to you guys flying through the air. It's actually a flock of really fucking large human-looking birds, and they are heading straight towards that fire. And with the 16, you can see that it looks like they're carrying some sort of like a bird version of what a helicopter would use to do big water dumps onto fire. And as you're sort of noting that and seeing that these figures are heading towards this blaze that you guys started that is quickly approaching behind you, you also, as a group, note now, Ali, you pick them up first, but there is just on the ground another group of these bird-like individuals that have come kind of bursting through the undergrowth, and you can hear there's a large group of them like that. I'm using the markers with these three. There definitely seems to be three in charge, but they are directing traffic from a whole bunch of these individuals, like at the very least like 20 or 30 of them that are coming barreling through, and you hear things being yelled out like bucket line, air team, more heights, spellcasters, get with nest, start making water, anyone else, scout the perimeter. And then as all of that's happening, you're seeing all of this organized chaos taking place with like lines of them heading off into the undergrowth. You notice that they're all carrying various different like sizes of water utensils. There definitely seems to be some mages in amongst them, Zach. You notice that just from their garb and different little elements that are swirling around their hands, that some of them seem to be producing water into those buckets as the groups are walking or running or fast marching along. But there's one of the figures that definitely stands out and is closest to you guys and spies like your group sitting amongst some smoldered wreckage and a whole shitload of bodies. And you also get them yelling out to you in this sort of like semi-feminine voice. It's a bit hard to tell with what seems to be some different vocal cords to what you guys have. It's like, you lot, get moving or get down and prepare to be cuffed. We need helpers or we need prisoners.
That's semi-feminine.
Yeah, semi-feminine. That's as good as what Spar gets. I don't do voices.
Okay, fair. Just checking.
Use your imaginations. Make that as semi-feminine as you want. Hoarse and croaky and breathing in smoke. So how does your little group respond to this? Actually, can I get give me, each of you can make your own choice on this, but can you give me an intelligence or a perception? This will be a secondary roll for you, Alia, as well, because you've got a whole heap of info from that 16 and you saw these guys coming through. But make a choice on whether it's intelligence or perception. I don't need you to do a specific subset of that. Just hit me a roll on whichever of those you like. Single roll. And Victor will do the same. He's not particularly
19.
strong in either of those fields.
13.
So I got a 19 from Alia.
All of us, yeah.
Yeah. Each of you will have an individual. This is like a group
Ooh.
check.
I'm at perceptive as ever, and I rolled a 2.
Yeah. Zach.
Brand.
13.
10. Oh, Victor with a wine barrel. Sorry, waterskin in his mouth rolled a natural 20. Jesus Christ, couldn't that have been on something useful? And Kitty?
13.
13. All right. Look, with all of that as a group check average through, you all get a really good idea of that. It looks like this seems to be an organized group that are primarily focused on the fire itself that is fast encroaching. With that group check, you're all aware that there is a city in this level that you were all working your way towards, even if you don't remember it from like 2 years ago. That's what you were heading through the jungle towards.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty safe to assume that that's where this kind of group has come out of nowhere from. Kitty, you have a little bit of extra info contextualized because you have a bit better of an idea of how close you were to that city when you met with the group that you ended up in a really bad way with, but that's information that you have that you can do with when and how it suits you. But I'm just letting you know you have a little bit more awareness of the proximity to the city that you guys currently are in the where you sit at the moment and where you were untied, based on how little you were moved around from when you were tied up. I've got to double talk this because that's your information, either share or not, for your character. But it's really clear that this response is organized. It seems to be very focused on the fire and stopping that fire. And at the moment, it seems like a genuine thing that the person who has huskily called out to you with the most masculine, feminine voice ever is really focused. It literally means what they say is essentially get the fuck out of the way, but you're going to be doing it restrained, or get in and help. And when you were hearing all that stuff being yelled around, so you saw that there was magic casters being called on to, specifically with like the water based stuff, where they're putting their skills towards what they can do with water, or anything else that could potentially quell fire. There's a lot of physical movement going on with people at the ground level with water buckets and water chains, like chain gangs, as in like a chain of people, not people being chained up. And there's also in the sky those sort of diving water bombing raids going on. You've got a couple of choices there as a group or as individuals. What would you like to do? How would you like to react to that?
They're all helping by the sounds of it.
We all look at Zach for like,
Yeah.
see what he's going to do. Take the lead, Zach. Oh, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, well, he seemed pretty commanding. So, and I don't want to be tied up like Kitty was. So, yeah, I'd just start looking around, finding ways to like help, I suppose.
All right. So you had essentially, especially with your group role, I'll do the chaos group, because you'll need to make your own choices here at the moment as well, because Alia and Fock are taking Zach's lead. That does not necessarily mean you need to, but you can see that that's what they're doing. So Zach, are you looking to go and assist the magic wielders? Are you looking to join in on the bucket gang? There's more buckets, and like there's barrels, and there's other receptacles that they seem to have brought spares with them in case they're needed. So there's enough for all of you to pick those up and jump in and start assisting in that way. Like you've got the option. Others of you might have some sneaky skills that I'm not aware of, that you might have some magic abilities to assist the magic users. If any of you can fly, you might want to help the fly characters. Like where you've essentially been entrusted with where Team Chaos is going. So are you going to take that on and lead your little party, or are you going to go and do your own thing and tell them to sort themselves out? That's been put on you.
Me?
Yeah, well, that's what Fock just threw your way.
I reckon we should, like, they're moving buckets over, right? So should probably help with that. I have mage hands that might help carry a bucket or something. But yeah, we'll help with the chain of buckets, because there's like lots of lakes and stuff around. So
yep. Okay, so you're heading over, and the rest of you chaos guys, so Alia, Fock, Victor is going to follow your lead, and like one-handed thumbs up while he's still breathing through the waterskin. So you guys, where I drew the red shape is essentially where the line is the main line of those bird people laborers, almost, by the looks of them. Like there's three that were really clearly in charge of different elements. The one in kind of like a chain or breastplate metal armor, is hard to tell with all the soot and smoke that's starting to cover the area, seems to be in charge. There's a magic wielder that you heard and you can see being surrounded by other magic users, and you can see water starting to be created by them. And there's like a bigger, burlier, black feathered bird person who seems to be in charge of like wrangling what the more physical, labory putting out fire people are doing. So, and they're forming up essentially over to this water source, and there is a whole bunch of them. They're spaced out essentially, almost like 1 or 2 per grid marker. There is more people coming all the time to help with this, so you don't have to move a long distance to join into that. And I'm just going to put some scroll of fire markers up just to indicate. These are just at the moment ones that I'm going to use to indicate fire. You don't get the scrolls. So you don't get wall of fire scrolls. They're just the easiest thing I could use to have a mobile fire indicator. Now, Key, what would you like to do? You've heard what these guys are doing. You can see where they're heading. They're essentially coming over to join and grab like buckets and barrels and various different receptacles to a whole pile of them that is there to join in on this gang. What would you like to do?
Kitty is looking between the fire and the angry, feminine, not so feminine voice and her book, and into towards the direction of the city that she definitely knows is in a very specific direction.
Yep, it's
Goes,
essentially right over here. Yep.
I get tied up twice in one day. Like, is that too many times? Is that
Depends on how much you enjoy it.
how many times is too many times to be tied up? You know? Fuck it. And she puts her book away and goes to pick up a bucket with everybody else.
All right.
I guess I'm a part of the team.
All right.
I'm only here for the raccoon. Let's be clear.
We can discuss the whether you guys formalize that. I hope that you do after this little situation. So, is there? I've just thrown you guys over there, essentially, like your group along either side of the line. Is there anywhere in particular you want to be before we deal with the next little phase of this?
Where is the fire again? Can you? I mean, I can
Yeah,
see
so
the
let
fire.
me move some of these markers so that you guys have an indication of where it is and where it's approaching from. So I need to do the select drawing. Oh no, not that one. I need some tokens. So it's essentially coming up from Chaos. You guys know exactly where the fuck it's coming up from. Kitty,
I don't know what you mean.
haven't been filled up on. You haven't been filled in on this yet.
What are you implying?
Yeah.
It's basically coming. If I zoom right, I'm on the wrong map to do it. Sorry, I need to zoom out on this one so that you can see what I'm moving around. So that should be far enough. Yeah, I know that's a little bit difficult to see. If I use the stream for a second just to move some things, so it's essentially coming up from like the southeast, and if I chart like where the fire has raged, it's basically been burning everything in its path, largely on this southwest, largely on this westerly side, which is quite heavy and dense. It's not quite as bad over towards like the water source because that's a little bit more moisture there, but it is. It does look like it has essentially jumped to some extent. It's difficult to tell, but there does seem to be like some different points of origin. It's not letting me move individual ones, so it does appear to have jumped and have a secondary ignition source over here. But the worst of it is driving up towards you guys, essentially along that western corridor through all of the jungle and undergrowth, and is closing in on where you guys are at the moment and are forming up, ready to potentially start dousing it in some flames, or dousing it in some water.
Can I do a perception check to see which direction the wind is coming from?
That's a great idea. Please do. You don't get any particular advantages with that though, unless you're talking with these guys and are getting someone to help you out with it.
I don't think she does. I think she just licks her finger and sticks it in the air.
Just
Nice.
give me a perception check.
Nice.
14.
All right. Look, with a 14, you can't tell exactly what maybe particular direction to the south it's coming from, but the wind does seem to be fanning these flames from behind. So you're basically, when you are doing this, and before like an instant of that moisture evaporating from the heat that's building around you all, you do get an indication that the wind is coming in to your face, not just the oppressive smoke and heat. So it's where that smoke was starting to come in, and you, Ali in particular, but your group was starting to get that smoke clouding around you before the heat really hit and the fire really took hold.
So the fire's coming from the direction of the southeast and the wind's coming from the direction of the south?
Yeah, as best you can tell, it's behind the flames, but
Right.
you as a group, you can definitely tell that the flames are coming up. And I'll give you that also, because for the rest of you, other than Kitty, you guys know exactly where the fuck it started, and you know where you came from, and you know where you camped, and you know exactly where this fire is coming from.
Not
Kitty would like to start knowing that information as far to the east of the line as she can.
All right. So you're going to basically go right up here next to where Zach currently is. Does anyone else? So you're basically next to, like, at this point, the guy seems to be in charge of marshalling what's happening here. Does anyone else want to? So I'm getting you guys on either side of the line, just in the interest of space. Anyone else want to move there?
Nope, I'm good.
So I've essentially got Kitty, Zach, Alia, and then Fokionis, Victor one-handed with a bucket and a waterskin. And then your Drake is just trying to be nearby, but also stay out of the way because it's only on 1 HP at the moment. Just reminder too that some of you guys are pretty fucked up. Just be aware of that. Like
yeah.
Fokionis in particular, you're gritting your teeth and like, yeah, no, I got this. But you and Victor in particular copped a bit of a flogging in that last little encounter.
Yes, we did.
Reminding you. All right, with you positioned where you are there, so that the next little phase of this can unfold. You're not in battle, but it's just going to help me organize this. Can I get you all, please, to roll initiative so I can do an order of what's happening?
Initiative, yes.
Yeah.
17.
All right.
Where's my full at advantage? Can't be flattening. That says advantage. I'll redo that because
The 6 plus 3, 9. Oh god, they rolled shit.
8.
Hey,
11.
yeah, Victor rolled a 9. What was yours, Zach?
11.
11. And what was yours, Kitty?
13.
13. Wow. You are.
I'm
You're going to
swapping.
be. You're swapping. What do you mean?
I'm going analog.
Oh, you got to go to the musical dice. Yeah, no worries. So let me go. I'm actually going to just, because it's going to make this next little section a little bit easier, I'm going to treat you guys as an average of your group roll. So
Ooh.
We're average.
9 plus 13 equals.
That's a bit mean, isn't it?
Okay, so you average 12, which was a big improvement for some of you and a slight dip for the others.
What do you mean?
In good news though, you actually had the highest initiative out of you and the other defenders who are coming to this, because they averaged a 9.
9. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
That's
what
like
you
me
guys
areas.
what you guys experience as you're kind of lining up here, and the instructions that are being shouted to you as you're forming up, and you can see what everyone else is doing as well, as they're getting in this sort of rough, loose line around all the underbrush and etc. Like it's not like you can do a straight line through. Although there does appear to be some people with druidic abilities there that are kind of seem to be moving and clearing paths and making it a bit easier for all of you guys. But what the instruction was in the first instance was, as your buckets, etc., being filled up with water, is to start essentially dousing everything that is around you. So basically, just do non-stop. This was the instruction that was given. You guys may have thoughts of your own because you're actually first in the initiative order. So you've all currently got various different containers that are commensurate with your ability to hold them full of water. I'm going to make the assumption based on your passives that you're all, even Phocionis, smart enough to grab a receptacle that
Yeah, I am.
for you. And if you didn't, the mages are actually filling it up to a point where they start to see you struggling anyway. So at this point, it's quite controlled chaos, and you're all in control. But team chaos, what would you guys like to do in this initial instance with that instruction that was given? Are you going to follow that, what's essentially an order to the defenders, or do one or more of you have an idea of what you would like to do? Does anyone wish to Leroy Jenkins out into the flames?
Normally, I'd love to, but
Levi Jenkins. Can you describe the area that we're standing in? Like we're standing in a line, obviously, with the water coming
Yeah.
towards us with the buckets. What does it actually look like? Do we make
good
a perception
question.
check, or can you explain?
No. You're all close
What
enough
I'm
to
looking
this, and you've been through it. So you're in quite a dense. It's the same sort of jungle that you worked your way through to get to here. So it is most of the time quite dense, both undergrowth and quite tall trees that are kind of reaching skyward above you. The canopy's high above, not a lot of branches, etc., lower down, because they're all sort of focused on getting as high as they can and as close to the sun as they can. But it is very dense undergrowth near you as well. Like this is essentially like perfect bushfire territory for something to spark off. That it's not a particularly damp undergrowth at all. It's not tinder dry by any stretch, but this isn't like a tropical rainforest that's experienced non-stop rain and everything is just sort of semi-saturated. It's clearly quite ready to burn, and you saw that with the fire, the remnants of the fire that was getting thrown around. That even though you couldn't see it, you could see flashes of it through your calico sacking. But you guys actually have quite clear footing. There is definitely quite dense undergrowth and shrubs, etc., directly in front and within reach, with very little movement of you that you guys can start throwing things towards. If you are so inclined to follow the order to essentially just really try and soak the area around you in this initial instruction. At the moment, the fire isn't upon you. You're sort of you get the clear indication that you guys are basically prepping almost like a fire break between what different teams are doing and what you guys are doing with water in readiness at this point.
Kitty's just going to start unloading, dumping whatever liquid that she has in these buckets on whatever the driest looking shrub is.
Yeah, go for it. That's where you're going to be heading off with, and as you start doing that, every time you throw it, not long after, the bucket's full again, and so you're getting like this. It's on like a continual loop. What are the rest of you doing in terms of following direction? It's really more the intent of what you are looking to do before we kind of do the next phase of this.
I've been looking to see if
Can
I can carry buckets of
Leah
water.
can't
Can I
exactly carry a
polymorph
bucket of each
Phocionis
of
Whoa,
into
sorry, hang on. So go that way. That was very poor.
You asked everyone.
Asked that question and everyone answered, which I get. Let's go in your role. So Ali, are you first? So Kitty jumped
Well,
in
I'm pretty sure.
early. What is Alia doing?
Well, can Alia even hold one of the buckets?
Yeah, there's something that definitely looks like it probably had a previous life as a chamber pot. That
I think
is definitely
Alia
a
would be
receptacle
best
that you
served to
can-
use a severed arm to hold a bucket because it'd be better leverage, as indicated in the picture.
I could polymorph her into a giant ape who could probably
Oh my
carry
God.
more water.
You absolutely could. Does it have to be a willing creature?
No,
What a goblin.
but
It doesn't have
I'll
to be willing.
ask her for consent first.
No. Hey, it's your teammate and your repercussions, but I just wanted to know before you jump whether it had to be willing or not. Do you wish? Oh, go. I don't need to jump in for that.
Hey, Alia, do you want me to turn you into a giant ape who could help carry more water? Or
No.
Does anyone?
I also proceed to bonk him on the head with the arm.
High five.
Air high
Well,
five.
If anyone does decide to do, oh, you said giant ape. Hang on, I'm just getting a giant ape ready in case anyone decides they do wish to take that on board. All right, so you're not going to be a giant ape. You've had that little play out. So what's Alia doing with her chamber pot?
A chamber pot.
Getting
What's the
everybody else
intention?
wet.
Getting
She
everybody.
can't throw so good. She can shoot an arrow real well, but she just can't aim.
So Alia's aware of her
Water.
limitations, and so what she's planning on doing is keeping her teammates nice and damp. Got it. All right. What are Fokionis? Oh, sorry, Zach. Sorry, Zach. What are you looking to do here?
yeah, I asked Fokionis the same question. Do you want to
You
turn
wanna
into a
turn me into
giant
what?
ape or a giant ape?
I'm good, man. Like,
Okay. Yeah,
It's hairy.
I do it to myself then. And
All right.
oh, that's how you roll.
Yeah.
So after Zach has asked around to everybody else and been turned down, like, oh, fuck this. And so where he was, Kitty, this is a much more impressive magic trick. So from where he was before, all of a sudden there is just this
She's got the book.
giant ape whose ass crack is directly in front of your face for you to get like a clear up sketch of anything that might be dingling or dangling nearby, but it is huge.
That's what she said.
Zach, yeah, you do
It
notice.
is
Actually, no.
Huge.
What's your stat block on this? Hang on, I need to have a look at. Oh no, you don't notice. Your intelligence is shit house. You notice fuck all of nothing. You can definitely see a fire coming. The rest of your group, you guys are initially startled by this, but you have seen this polymorph in effect. The rest of you, other than Kitty, seems quite unbothered and just interested in taking notes. But you do see a moment of like a ripple of shock and startlement and a few drop buckets and broken barrels that are quickly replaced and replenished. That this was quite unexpected, but a few quick shouted commands from the people in charge who are clearly quite familiar with this sort of activity. I'm looking at. I shouldn't have looked at Dante's picture.
Got him.
Why do I do it? And a few quick squawked commands, get everyone back on track. G'day, victim. Welcome into the craziness, mate. It's all happening here. So that leaves us down to Fokionis. You said no thanks. What would you like to be doing
I'm
as an
carrying
intention?
buckets.
Right. Of course, yeah. Throwing water at shit.
Come on,
Yep.
man.
Victor's doing the same one-handed. So as you guys are
He's bench pressing water buckets.
doing a few deadlifts, a few overhead presses, like one-handed because he doesn't want to dislodge you. I'll give it that. So as you're doing all of this, just with your passives, you're largely accomplishing your goal. Like Alia, you're pretty much tipping the water over Fokionis largely from on his shoulder. Like You're not accomplishing terribly much, but you're helping at this point. And the rest of you are with your like. It seems to be pretty superior abilities for the most part. Those of you who are more physically inclined, and then this fucking giant King Kong looking motherfucker who is like Donkey Konging just water barrels, sometimes throwing the barrel, sometimes throwing the water out of the barrel. But they're just getting whipped towards the oncoming inferno.
Is there like a short guy with red overalls?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it. Maybe you should stick some overalls on Alia. Is there any of that in the cash pile? All right. So we've got our intentions here. What I need you to do just to see where we land, the success of this first phase before we move into phase 2, with now that I know what you're each doing. So you're all kind of largely doing the same thing, but there is a couple of different roles I'm going to get you to do. So Egg, with your giant ape stat block, you should be able to look at it, or I can open it up if needs be. But can you do a athletics check for me? Can I get Kitty? Can you give me either a survival or a nature check, just because you're sussing out where the driest sections were and you're looking to do a bit more targeted work?
What is Grape Ape's like roll disadvantage there?
Dude, Great Ape's stats are friggin' insane. They
that's
are.
right.
Yeah. So Egg, can you open it up, or do you?
I got it. I rolled.
Okay. You rolled all right. Would you say
I
roll
got-
one?
I rolled a 5 and it's +9 from athletics.
All right. So 14. You say 5 + 9? Yeah. So for our phase 2 here, so we've got the giant ape with a 14. I need a survival in nature from you, Kitty.
So just the D20 plus my bonus.
Yeah, so if you look,
My
you'll
check?
have a plus. You'll have a plus to your either survival in nature or a
22.
minus. Oh, was that a nat 20 as well?
No, it was a
or-
19 plus 3.
Oh, awesome.
I don't know much about nature, but I'm not going to die anytime soon.
Alia, I'm going to give you that, even though you're largely tipping water on Fokionis, I want you to play to your strengths and give me a perception check, please. Because you are successfully tipping water on him with no problem at all.
16.
All right. And then Zach is just a strength check, so he's fine. He's not really doing much one-handed. Oh, sorry, not Zach, Victor. And Fock, you're just essentially throwing lots of water around. So I want you to give me an athletics check, please. You're like the smaller version of the giant
That's
ape.
actually a good wow, that's something I'm
Good thing you
decent.
played to your strengths then.
And I still fuck it up. It's
know how you
2
made
plus
that
my
meme.
+7, so 9.
No. Dude. Wow. All right.
Good
So
with the rolls tonight.
as you guys are each individually doing your best or intermediate based on those different roles, it soon becomes pretty apparent. I'll get to you in a sec, Alia. It soon becomes pretty apparent, both from listening to the instructions and seeing like the ground underfoot is starting to really soak in that water. The surroundings that you guys yourselves can reach are definitely getting well and truly saturated. The barrels and water that are being thrown around by the much higher reach of the ape when it thinks or just flukes throwing water in those general directions is definitely working on the taller trees and the canopy. And the targeted and direct nature of what quite clinical that Kitty's doing is definitely having an effect. And the areas that you guys are targeting are rapidly soaking in that moisture and you're pushing ahead and doing like the work of any two other people here, and it's very clear that you are. Like you guys are doing a bang up job at the moment of what you're being asked to do. And Alia, what you notice, and you need to choose what you're doing with this information, you pick up on from your vantage point, and now that enough water has soaked in, that you can actually feel the breeze coming through that Kitty was attempting to get a little bit of info from before. You get a bit more of a sense of it, and just see through some like breaks in the smoke that definitely like this area seems to have been quite well dealt with, but you can see that the fire is intensifying straight back from where you guys came from, but to that southeast you can see that it looks like it's hit some of that dead underbrush that more prone to really hyper igniting. You can see that it's about to really kick on and come at you guys hard, that it's about to kick off down here, not too far from where you guys have entrenched yourselves. You can see that this is coming. It hasn't happened yet. What would you like to do with that information?
Stream of fire.
I got to give you that you're probably pointing in the direction of where you screamed. Can I get you to give me a persuasion roll, please?
$16.
Excellent. So you see with that scream, and like you're an oddity and you stand out and you're definitely being noticed. And the fact that you're up on the shoulder of this giant green dude, even though it's been noted that you haven't largely accomplished a lot other than keep making sure that he's quite soaked. As you scream and point to that what is about to be a more intense outbreak of fire, you hear that the rapid instructions, like the heads snap around, no questions are asked. The instructions are given essentially for your line of the water chain to start essentially a slow march of moving and soaking towards those more intense flames. Team Chaos, you guys really you trust Alia at this point. Kitty, you're going along with them at the moment, so you guys are on board with what she's pointed out and you see it. Again, for the next phase of what we're doing here, the instruction is that essentially as an organized group to push forward and continue doing what you're doing towards this really intense ignition source that's about to kick off. So what would you guys like to do with that?
Kitty has
Essentially follow
questions.
instructions, or by all means hit me with who are you looking to ask the questions of, and me or
You, the first
Yeah.
one.
Okay,
What's the
so
topography?
yeah,
Like-
it's largely flat. Like it's and it's been flat essentially. There was some, as you got your way here, there was some sections where it sort of went flat and then it went fucking cliff face, and then it went flat. So you haven't actually experienced like it's not a real. It's pretty clear that this is almost like a manufactured jungle, or someone who thinks that what a jungle should be like has kind of put this together. You traversed enough of it to have kind of notes on that, but it is pretty much flat. There is not a lot of undulation. There's dips where the water has gathered. Thank you for doing the banning. So obviously there is some undulations in it, but it is not like big massive hills and then dips and valleys, and it's sort of like flat. Fucking hell, flat.
Like vertical sheer rock face.
That's one of the items that you traversed in getting here, was climbing up a pretty close to vertical rock face, but thankfully you were pretty handy and you climbed up.
Can I ask Alia a question?
Go for it.
Alia, was it? Raccoon hand friend.
Yes.
Is your winged ferret able to fly?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did with the last level up, didn't it?
Yes.
Didn't it get
I
like
think
it's got
so.
limited
I
flight?
can't
Like it doesn't have
remember.
a
I
it doesn't
think
have an
so.
it can't go super high. I think it's like is it 15 or 30 feet up it can go? It's got a limit. It's got a ceiling of how. But yes, it
It
can
looks
fly.
a little limp. Can it get up?
That's what she said. It's my turn.
You're welcome.
I had to get in before Racer did.
Yes.
Yes. Can I make a request of Elia's Drake?
That's
Aaliyah
laid
looks
out
at
as you will.
her Drake, looks back at Kitty, looks at the Drake again, and then says yes.
Winged Drake thing. Do you mind just popping up there for a moment and seeing if the tops of the trees are on fire?
The look is to you. Oh, you gave it an instruction to follow it. Yeah. So it goes up. It does have a ceiling. I'm going to give it 30 feet because I can't remember exactly how far it can go up.
Yeah, do it.
And Alia, with like your connection that you guys have, as far as it can get up, essentially what you're getting as a response from it is sort of like, yeah, some of it is, some of it isn't. But from where it can get up to,
Sorry,
it
was that
can't
a
get-
6-7 like?
Sorry, say that again.
We both said in unison, is that like a 6-7 thing you're doing there? or
Oh
what?
God. Oh, don't. Oh, we don't need that in our lives. Sure. Yeah, the ferret's 6-7ing to you guys. It may go from 1 to 0 HP
these.
really rapidly. But what it's getting across to you is, like, as best it can tell, is that in what it thinks what you're asking is as that fire's approaching, yeah, it fucking looks like everything's on fire. But if what you're
It's
asking
on
is
fire.
like, if you're asking like where it is that shit on fire? No, it doesn't look like any of the embers or anything have crossed.
Is the
Um,
canopy from a distance? Are the flames above the trees?
Can
I
you
didn't know
get
it would understand that.
yeah? Wait, just let's get your Drake to roll a perception check. Let's see if it rolls any better this time around. After, do you have control,
God.
or is that one I've got to still do? Because I don't know if I've been able to figure out how you can control it.
Oh, you do that.
You can just roll it. You can just roll a
No, I
dice
can do
and
it.
add 2.
Perception,
So,
you said, yeah.
yeah, Drake's getting more work than anyone in the last 2 sessions. He's doing more work than it's done in the year and a half previous.
I
Yeah,
have a climb speed. I could climb up.
19.
no. So with the 19, you no longer have a maybe. What through your connection that you guys have and what with the 19 it communicates to you is that the canopy behind like where you guys are working appears to be fine. The fire is certainly reaching the top of what's encroaching on you all. So it's not just it's a wall of flame and smoke, and it's the smoke is starting to get thick, but it hasn't yet interfered with your perception. So yeah, fucking everything's burning over here with a 19.
Cool.
And it's about to get worse is what Alia noticed. So you're now aware that it's really fucking bad. And what you know from Alia is it's about to get worse bad.
Yeah, hey guys. Raccoon Bro is right. We may actually be fucked. Just
So as you
point
guys are
that
doing
out.
all of this, so I'll come back to what you're saying, that as you guys are having that comment, I'll let you play it out, and see what each of you or as a group you're doing. The birds are essentially doing like a steady controlled march forward, and they're basically doing steps, and they're soaking steps, soaking. And you see, just as you're about to continue your conversation, that the guys who are right at the pointy end of that spear are now starting to throw the water towards the flame. The bombers above are targeting the flames more readily now in that more intense area, not even hit the really bad stuff. And the mages, I'm just going to get them represented by this dude, are starting now. You've seen them filling buckets, and there's still a group that are doing that, but they are now dropping like big 30-foot domes of water that is having an impact. And then at this point, the fire is still raging, but they're really intensifying their efforts as it is intensifying as well. As you're talking, like they're following orders as you guys are having your like 10, 15, 20, 30-second combo. Please continue, Kitty.
Where was I? Yeah, we're fucked. May I make a suggestion? We can either cut and run now while they're all in front of us and, where the fire is, or we can start throwing the wet stuff on the hot stuff, but aim for the bottom. The book told me. And I've met a lot of firefighters on career days, and they are as hot as the fire they fight. I just need to tell you.
All
Aim
right.
for the bottom, you say.
You grunted.
Always.
Zach, with your 7-2 intelligence or whatever the giant ape's got. You're not super bright at the moment, mate. You're taking all this in, but yep, I'll give you that your ape is able to follow throw low.
Your 7 can understand.
Yeah, but isn't it 7-2?
No, a -2 is the modifier.
You said Magilla Gorilla's stats were on point.
Well, his strength is 23. So
yeah, apologies.
That's all he's got, really.
Yeah, I do apologize. I was clicking on something that's invisible at the moment, not on the actual ape. Apologies for that.
Oh, what do you mean? Something invisible? You're talking about?
But you've only got basic language. Like you're not super intelligent, mate. You're not having you're more King Kong than Zachary at the moment. But you're definitely able to follow the instruction throw low. Yep. Got it. So what are you guys doing? As things are heating up. And there are people starting to pay attention to the fact that you're lagging behind, including the person who seems to be in charge of all of this and who to this point has been happy seemingly with your efforts and noting your efforts with some of those perception rolls.
I've followed the giant ape. He's just cleared a way for me. Like it is brush free.
And he's fucking Donkey Kong and yeah.
Like, what a better path. What a better path to take.
All right.
Perfection.
Were you saying something, Alia?
Yeah, well, I go wherever fuck goes.
Yeah, fair.
To be fair, given you standing on my shoulders, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So-
like it says, like even though the water's being thrown at the base, I can't throw it that far, so it's literally landing at Fox's feet.
It just goes in the bucket and then you just pick it up again, so it's all good.
All right. So we are going to do for this phase. I'm going to need a couple of because it's been like on a successful.
Oh boy, can't wait to roll another 2.
Your previous ones. So you've gotten this instruction from Kitty. You've heard the throw low. So as you're getting to what is now, you've got those instructions, you've got that information, you're aware of what you're trying to do. You're now coming essentially to like the fire front. You are coming right up against as this is pushing forward. You guys are pushing forward, and you're almost like the trying to be the immovable object for the unstoppable force. So you're now getting into what you can see is getting harder. The smoke is still blowing into your eyes. It's getting more difficult to see, but you can definitely still see the goddamn fire. But it may become a little bit more difficult to achieve what you're trying to do, but you can definitely still see that fire that you're trying to be hoiking water at. But because you're trying to hit the fire now instead of just the items around you, you are going to need to push up a little bit closer to it, which is okay because it's kicking off closer to you guys as well. So you're essentially all at this point now really starting to feel the heat. If you're starting to feel your fur singe a bit earlier, you can definitely start to feel some of that hair warming up. You've
Roasted
definitely got an
raccoon.
affinity for this. It's not as uncomfortable for you, Kitty, as it might once have been, since you made some choices about how you're going to operate in this new reality. But you
Come
do
on,
know
baby,
that
light
the
my
wind is
fire.
the wind is and smoke are pushing your hair back, and those horns are now very visible and starting to glow somewhat in the heat as it's hitting your skin. So what I need is for Egg with your giant ape. Can you do the same again for me with your athletics roll? I mean, unless you want the ape to make this one of these other rolls, but I do need two of you. Or actually, let me try this again. All of you are throwing the water buckets. I will give you throwing the water. I'll give you a choice. I just made an assumption of what the ape would do, but you can make a strength roll as like a brute force of throwing as much water as you can. Or you can make an acrobatics roll if you'd like to lean into your dexterity more and be a bit more targeted with where you are placing the water. So
not.
some of you are going to be doing a second roll, but for everybody, can you give me essentially your firefighting roll is this first one, and make that an athletics or an acrobatics, so a strength or a dexterity.
26.
Did you say 26?
Oh, I said fuck me.
Plus
17.
23.
26.
Zach 17.
26.
26. I thought you said 26. All right. Zach 26. What was Alia? Sorry.
23.
Yeah, fuck will use Alia's throw.
All right. What was what?
Throw Alia at the fire.
No.
Just start swinging around by the tail and let the water go. Looking out like a sprinkler.
Dude, that would
Make a noise
probably
like-
work
yeah.
if as long as I'm holding the bucket. That would work
Alright.
really well.
Yeah. What was Fokiotis's roll?
7.
All right. 7. Victor rolled a 20, which is going to help things overall. And Kitty, what did Kitty roll for this next lot of firefighting?
9 minus 1, so 8.
8. Not quite as targeted this time around.
No, very, very poor upper body strength.
All right, and now I need two of you. This is two individual roles who are going to essentially, building on what Kitty kind of picked out and what Alia picked out. Alia picked out some weak points and well, not weak points, but some like ignition points in the fire a little bit earlier. This time I need two of you to kind of lean into that and see if there's anything that you can pick out, and you're either going to roll a nature or an arcana check. It's separate to the previous roll that you did.
Oh, there's no point in me rolling either of those.
I can do arcana.
There's no point me doing either as well.
So if Egg's going to do it, he's got to do it as the ape. So you guys got to keep that in mind.
Come on.
He's
Alright.
a giant
what's
fucking ape. He's getting
yours?
all the benefits of that.
Kitty's gonna roll arcana because I feel like
Yep.
that's a choice.
Yep, go for it.
Please be good. I can't even see it. Okay. Not awful.
Yep. What is it?
I'd hit 15.
Okay, now 15's all right. And who else is going to roll a nature? or
On a
an arcana?
-1.
Well, the ape can't do it.
Yeah, I can.
You can,
Yeah,
yeah.
He's
He
got bigger
absolutely
hands than
can.
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll do it. What's this?
All right.
Do it.
7,
Man.
Did you say 7?
17.
Oh, so you got a 17.
19 minus 2.
Oh, that's great.
Fucking hell, that was
Okay.
lucky.
Amazing.
That
is
is so
gold.
funny.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
All right. So, what you guys pick up on with this combination of factors that you've got there, and as a group, like your average group roll for the firefighting side of this actually was quite high because there was a nat 20 in there and there were no super low rolls. So you guys actually have quite a high average with it. So with that kind of targeted awareness and building on that momentum that Kitty and Alia had built earlier, this time around with Kitty and friggin' King Kong somehow channeling its inner, ape jungle affinity, you guys pick up way quicker, and I'm actually going to move you with, as a result of what you just did there, closer to the center. Oh no, that's the opposite of where I want you to move. Closer to the main part of what's happening here. But you guys as a group actually move ahead of the little bit more slow and steady group that's coming along behind you as they're sort of methodically, not quite militarily, but maybe militia-like. There's obviously been some training that they've had and they're following the orders, but they're a little bit slow and they're a little bit methodical. And what you guys picked up on is that there needs to be action taken here, like right now, because otherwise this is going to get out of hand and this is potentially going to overwhelm your group and the firefighters in general. So you've actually picked up on those points and you've moved towards that. And with your firefighting roles, you guys are actually really making an impact on that. As you're in the midst of doing all of this, leaping and charging through, you can see the figure of this huge wolf-like just entity that is lit. It's engulfed in flame. It is charging, trying to escape the burns and the flames, and wild-eyed it's running and charging through this danger point, and it is barreling straight towards you guys, leaping through the flames directly at your group. What do you want to do with that?
Start pounding
it's
water
coming
in the air
right
and on
through
the
here.
floor.
Oh, there it is.
You're what, sorry?
I am throwing water directly in front of me.
Okay. Yep, keep it.
Can I try and like grab it and push it to the
Jump, drop, and
little
roll.
lake? That's about...
Oh, the lake.
That's not
Yeah,
a
good
bad
call.
idea.
You
Yeah, if
absolutely
it's midair,
can.
can like McGillicuddy do some like catch and release thing where he spins around 180 degrees and yeets it
30
into the water?
feet.
What's the
Looking
roll
at
check for
stat
that?
block. Oh, you've certainly got the
He's got the
certainly
strength.
got the stats for it in
Yeah,
this
go on,
current form. So we need to do two
Do
things
it,
here because
do
you're
it.
looking to catch and also throw essentially. So give me
You don't have to catch, you just have to guide.
an acrobatics to see to see if you can catch it. So see if you got the dexterity to actually grab a hold of it. Yes, give me dex first. Let's see what the outcome of that is, and then we'll look at strength.
Go.
Can Kitty sidestep in front of Alia and Fock while I'm seeing this giant gorilla
Yeah.
start to move?
You certainly can. I mean, these guys are essentially taking up the same space, so I should have Alia behind Fock because
One
of
being.
her size. Yep. So
5.
you're actually stepping in front to shield them.
Mm-hmm.
Egg, I will give you. What did you roll actually? Because there was a second part to that I was going to get you to do.
Yeah, you wanted acrobatics for the
Yep,
8.
acrobatics first.
So that's +2. So I rolled a 3.
No.
That's
Lucky already had something. Well,
Wow.
let's see how this goes. What you notice as this is bounding through is Victor also had a similar idea to you. So you notice that somewhere in amongst all of this, his skin is now back to its green color with his nat 20. The waterskin has just been thrown into the flames to add to the water that's in there currently. But he is trying to essentially do a similar thing to you, not necessarily to throw it towards water, but he is trying to stop this thing in its tracks as well. So he is going to lend you advantage. Is essentially trying to shove it into your arms. So you've got a second,
You said arms, right?
or two into the 8. Yes. What did you
Still
think
not
I said?
Yeah, that's a natural 20.
Nothing sounds good.
Of course it is.
Oh yeah.
So with that kind of shove that he gives it towards you, you've now got a hold of this thing. You've successfully two-handed grip. You've reared back on those hind legs. You've eyed off where you want to send it. Give me that strength roll, because you're doing this all in. It's not just the passive. It's you've got to actually tile this together with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
28.
Holy shit. With this thing is, it's like, fuck, that's hot. It's starting to, even with these giant hands, you're taking a few little points of fire damage from the burning flesh and fur, but you fucking yeet this thing straight over the top of your teammates. Like, you channel your inner Phocyonis with his lightning spear and just pick it up one-handed and throw this thing like a javelin over towards the water, where it just the eyes of these bird people are just like, initially they had a moment to recoil back as this giant flaming wolf came through the wall of flame in front of them, only for it to be kind of shoulder checked and then grabbed and then thrown all in the space of seconds to where it just splashes and goes into the water over here. And we'll see what happens with it. So it's basically gone here, here, here. And
Dog.
we'll leave the giant flaming puppy dog over there as it gets put out. Nicely done. I didn't know where that was going to go. So with the barreling through of that wolf as well, it actually knocked, and sorry, as that's happened through you see that you can hear those gasps of shock and a few coughs from behind you as they inhale smoke, but you also get like a muted cheer of like almost like holy shit of people who witness this, and they're still madly trying to do their job and not burn to death, but are also aware enough of what happened here to go, holy fuck, something crazy just happened, as a giant gorilla just threw a giant wolf.
DM, can I get you to roll an
Lit on
inspiration check
fire.
for the rest of the gallery? Thanks.
The rest of the gallery, I would actually give Egg a point of inspiration for
Yeah.
that. Go and take that. I think some of you had them from the previous one. I appreciate that. I always forget those ones, but I'll absolutely give that. It's not like Baldur's
have
Gate. You
one.
don't all get the inspiration though this time. Just Egg. Just Zachary.
Wait, I was
All
going
right.
to say it's not like Baldur's Gate where we just need to reload.
How do I throw this again? I need to go and play the dog again just to figure out how to throw goblins. That's probably
Why
not
do
going to
I
make
have all
sense,
these heavy
Taylor.
rocks in my inventory?
It's like you go to put your kid to sleep for 2 minutes or 20 minutes, and you
come
come
back
back
and
and
you're
you're in the
encumbered.
middle of combat and you're sinking in. She's going to mean nothing to Kayla, but we'll have to fill her in on Baldur's Gate.
She looks like she's having fun.
She
Yeah,
does.
Kitty's like throwing water on stuff and just singing, feeling hot, hot, hot.
You're the best
Feeling
equipped
hot, hot, hot.
to deal with this full stop. But yeah, you guys did clearly notice in amongst all of that, though, it's not lost on your group that as that was coming, Kitty has gone from where she was to straight in front of you guys, protectively jumping in front of you, literally jumping in front of a flaming wolf, a dire wolf for you guys. So as you then continue through, like just like holy shit, but then you still got this fire front to deal with, and keeping following those instructions that that Kitty has given you guys of throwing low, and like a big splash of water that came out of that lake as as a wolf landed in it, dousing part of those flames. Over the next, it seems like forever, but over the next seconds, then minutes, and then you steadily, as a group, and part of this wider group, that instead of being a line, starts to slowly circle and semicircle, and then eventually almost close a circle as the domes of water are getting rained down with more frequency. it's really starts to make an impact and push it back until you get to the point where you have successfully, with your new, I don't know what they are yet, people surrounding you, you have successfully put this out. And as you're kind of choking on the aftermath of it, covered in soot and just the ash and everything else that comes with, the destruction of what was once like a verdant green landscape that you all at various points over the last little while have traversed through, and for some of you camped in overnight before setting it ablaze. You've got like this torched wasteland to the south of you, and like an ashen but still healthy and surviving forest to the north. You have successfully stopped the massive forest fire that Jake lit 2 years ago in its tracks. But there will be a bit to play out in the aftermath of that, and I am conscious that it's 11:15, so for Brisbane, so it's going to be various different times for the rest of you. So I think that this is a really good point to stop with where you guys currently are. The fire has been quelled. We will head into the aftermath in the next session. My only question before I throw to see if there's anything you guys want to ask or do, but don't please try and do too much, because there's we'll have to play this out and see where we go from here. But Egg, do you want to stay, or Zach, do you want to stay as the giant ape is really the main thing I just want to know as an end point?
Once the fire's out, he changes back and uses like prestidigitation to clean up.
Yes, of course he does.
Boy clean.
And he's once more immaculate because he did not have the chance to do this after the Arboleth. It would all moved on too rapidly for you to have done it. Great, love your work. So I'll stop there. Is there anything anyone else wants to be position wise? Because essentially all we are really is you were here. You certainly, with those roles, became the very pointy end of not the Drake. It's back a little bit. Very pointy end of the firefighting spear, and yeah, your actions and the very rapid handling of that direwolf had a big impact.
Fox just inspired by Kitty's singing, and given his propensity to like hum tracks as he was when he was a bouncer at a nightclub. You can just hear Fox lowly humming, "We didn't start the fire, it was always burning."
And is he doing the like janky?
Yeah, little
Janky
shuffle. He's pretty happy with his work.
Aaliyah's holding on for dear life.
Yeah,
We're waving her arm.
Oh, imagine being at a
damn it.
Midnight Oil
Okay.
concert and seeing a raccoon trying to hang off that bald head. Oh my goodness. Anyone not from Australia, that is going to make little to no sense, but just go look up Midnight Oil, We Didn't Start the Fire, watch the video clip, and that'll all make so much more sense. Yeah. And remember, at one point, that guy was a prominent politician in Australia for years. Peter Garrett? Is that the lead singer? Yeah.
Sure
I can't remember
is.
his surname. I knew it was Peter. I was trying, doing
This.
that. Do it, yeah. The
I
most
feel like he would
zombie-like
light a forest
dancing.
fire as well.
Even if he was like
Put it
30
out again.
degrees. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fight that fuel load, baby.
Oh my goodness. Well done, everybody. You certainly had some some roles there that literally pulled you guys out of the fire, and
You're not me.
made this take directions it may not have otherwise
Burn, baby, burn.
otherwise done. There was a whole sequence of things that were going to happen if you didn't successfully stop that direwolf, and did not expect that to happen. Well, not expect. When I saw that there was a King Kong there, I kind of suspected how you guys might end up dealing with it the instant the polymorph came about a little while back.
Swiftly.
But there were more things that were going to come from that if you hadn't have stopped it. So well done. You handled that about as efficiently as you probably could have. Good work.
Woo!
Nice.
We'll
Yay.
we'll pick it up
Kitty-
next week.
Kitty goes for a raccoon high five.
Sally is still holding the
The
cord.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I high five with my arm.
And Kitty says, fantastic.
Starts writing in the book. On that
Wait,
note,
don't I still have that like fucking cub rattle?
the what? Sorry, Racer. That was
The
hard to say.
cubs. I have their rattle.
Yeah, you've got the stuff from the tiger cubs. Yeah, you should still have that in your inventory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
All right, think about what you want to do with that. Don't add too much more flavor now. I think that's a good point to stop. We'll pick up
Sufficiently
here.
spiced.
We'll pick up here next week. Kayla, just checking with you quickly. You've got your notes on the extra info that you're potentially privy to that you have decisions to make on.
Sure
wondering
do.
if- Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Bound, baby.
I feel like that Kayla is taking on like the luggage role, and that I should be doing like a one of us chant, but I'm only going to be the only one doing it because I'm not seeing any of you be note takers at any point.
Slow brain.
Have you
Slow
started taking
brain.
notes, Racer?
needs
Have you
notes.
been
Yes.
low key noting and just not saying nothing?
Yes.
You sly dog.
Hey!
You
I,
sly
Can I
dog.
get those from you tomorrow, please?
No.
God damn.
It just says Aaliyah right now.
That would be the notes I expect Aaliyah to take. Like, Aaliyah, yeah, done.
And like the L's backwards, the T's backwards, and the L's upside down.
No, I wrote Aaliyah. Cub rattle.
Oh, you're making notes to yourself for next session.
Yeah.
All right, no,
Because I
guys.
forget.
That was good fun. I look forward to seeing where and how this goes next week, especially when you left like a pile of corpses at your feet when you first started this off.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let
So-
the bodies hit the floor.
They certainly did. All right, no, let's pick it up there next week. That was so much fun. Love your work, guys. And Team Chaos once again lived up to their name. Team Chaos plus Team
absolutely.
Kitty. at the
Even though we
moment.
don't know what none of us remember what chaos stands for.
No, I'm sure you'll be able to find it in.
It'll be in the D&D chat somewhere if you go back far enough. I
Yeah,
reckon.
although
Yeah.
actually, now that I think about it, didn't you guys put it in the Video Ninja chat?
Oh God, we might have.
That's
think
you
not
might
in
have.
there anymore.
No, it won't be because
No.
it wipes when you exit. I'm sure that you guys can come up with your own acronym. You might even be able to come up with a new one that doesn't. That can.
I
be
know
used.
it was extremely inappropriate.
It was a bit rude. Yeah. But maybe you could come up with a version that doesn't violate any TOSs. Maybe you can reinvent yourselves in 2025. If not, just whack it up in the D&D private. Only us squirrels in
Yeah.
there. All right, you lot. Thank you again for a great session. Anyone who's stuck with us through all of this, I hope you got a laugh or two out of the silly bullshit that we carry on with, because it's sure as hell fun on this side of the screen. Night, everyone.
Yes.